Hello everyone. This is what's known as a ballistic pendulum. Before the advent of high-speed timers, if you wanted to find out the speed of a bullet out of a pistol or a rifle, you'd use a ballistic pendulum. All you needed to know was the mass of the bullet, the mass of the block, and after it was fired into, how high up the block went. So if you look in any physics book, you will see problems related to the ballistic pendulum. But before or during my career teaching, I've never actually heard of anyone using a ballistic pendulum. So back in the late 20th century, I decided I'm going to make my own ballistic pendulum and do it for real. However, I didn't know where to really start from. I didn't know what size block, what kind of wood to use, what kind of bullets to use. And so I spent one day after school here at TAM with a bunch of different blocks, hardwoods, softwoods, laminated blocks, and so forth, and rifles, pistols, and I fired off maybe 100 rounds into various blocks of wood before I came up with the ideal mass and construction. And so I did that demonstration for many years until 2006, when a disgruntled parent complained that it was probably not very safe. So this is the block that I used back in 2006. And you can see the bullet holes there and the powder burns on the front of the block. And you're going to see a video of the last year that I did this demonstration, and you're going to calculate the speed of the bullet. So you need to know a few things. One, you need to know the mass of the block. So that's 3.35 kilograms. So I'm going to attach it to the strings here. And the way I would do the demonstration is I'd have a .30 caliber M1 Carbine, which is the type of weapon that was used by the Army before the M16. And I'd hold it at point blank range. And notice I've got this tether here and this little piece of blue tape. What I'd do is I'd shoot into the block and it would move forward. And when I sensed that it had gotten to as far as it was going to go, I'd pinch down on the string. And I could use that distance that it moved outward with a little bit of geometry to figure out how high up it went. You're going to do it differently though. What you're going to do is you're going to actually make measurements on the video that you see. So you're going to need to estimate how high the block goes during the video. And I'm going to tell you that the height of the block is 15 centimeters. So in the video, you're going to use that idea that the block's 15 centimeters high and compare how high up it goes compared to the height of the block. You can make an estimate of some number of centimeters. What we're doing here is trying to find out the speed of a rifle bullet. You can do it with three simple measurements: the mass of the block, the mass of the bullet, and how high up the block raises, together with two conservation laws: conservation of energy and conservation of momentum. So we're going to measure how high up the block goes, and given how high up the block goes, we'll be able to calculate what the gravitational potential energy is. Once we know that, we know the kinetic energy of the block at its lowest point after it was hit. From that, we can figure out the speed of the block and the bullet, and from the speed of the block and the bullet, we can figure out the momentum of the block and the bullet right after it was hit, which is the same as the momentum of the bullet. And once we have the momentum of the bullet, we can find the velocity of the bullet. Okay. Yes. They clap like this after every explanation. Oh, clap. Oh, baby.